Imagine a world where, you know, all your choices feel completely your own. Made freely, no strings attached. Sounds nice, doesn't it? But what if there's this subtle thing, almost invisible, that's constantly shaping those decisions? Welcome to the deep dive. We unpack compelling ideas, try to dig out the insights you need, and today we're pulling back the curtain on exactly that. Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving deep into the art of guiding choices. Our source material for this is Orchestrating Choices, the art of controlled options. Our mission really for you is to boil this down, uh, get the essentials from this key source, give you a shortcut to understand this really powerful way influence works. And here's the core idea, the nugget from the source. Control the options and let people choose, but from options you provide. And this isn't just, theory. It's happening all around you constantly. You probably even do it yourself sometimes.
Yeah, what's fascinating here is that core idea, orchestrating choices. It's not about brute force or just giving orders. It's way more nuanced, isn't it? It taps into, well, psychology, behavioral economics. It's about designing the whole setup. We call it the decision architecture. How choices are presented, the framing, the sequence, and the clever part is people still feel like they're making the choice. That sense of agency is strong. Even if the path was kind of laid out for them, you could be choosing from a preset menu right now and not fully clock it.
That distinction is so important, not command, but guidance. So let's take that statement again. Control the options, let people choose, but from options you provide. Hmm. What does controlling options really mean here? It sounds less like restriction, more like designing the landscape.
It's you. It's curation, yeah, but strategic curation. Think of it like landscaping a garden. You don't build walls, you just make certain paths look more inviting, right? Better lit, clearer signs. You're subtly encouraging people down a route. And psychologically, this is huge. Why does even a limited choice feel empowering? Because we're wired to want autonomy. We need to feel like we're in the driver's seat. So by giving some options, even if you pick them carefully beforehand, you scratch that itch. You're not saying do this, you're saying pick one of these, and then the person feels ownership over their choice. They're more committed, happier with it. Plus, it plays on cognitive biases, like the compromise effect. Give people three options, and guess what? Many go for the middle one, seems safest. Or anchoring. The first thing you see, or the fanciest option shown first, kind of sets the bar for everything else. It's subtle, yeah, setting the stage, not writing the script.
Okay, right, and that must be where the art part comes in from the title. Orchestrating choices, the art. It's not just about limiting, but crafting those options. How do you do that well versus just being clumsy or manipulative?
Yeah, that's the key difference. And this raises an important question for you listening. How does knowing this empower you? The art is in that balance. It's not just fewer choices, it's designing them so they feel, well, natural, appealing. They lead where you hope, but feel like good options. A clumsy attempt. Three bad choices. That just feels restrictive, makes people push back. Skillful orchestration. The choices feel thoughtful, curated. Each one seems like a decent path. A lot of it is framing, how you present the info. Think about donations, right? Donate $25, $50, or $100 versus $1, $5, or $10. Same limited choice, but the frame shifts what feels normal.
Ah, right. Changes the anchor point.
Exactly. And then there's the default option, huge one. People often just stick with whatever is pre-selected. Less effort. Think about organ donation checkboxes or, privacy settings you have to uncheck.
Oh, yeah. Happens all the time.
The art is setting that default to guide things without being pushy.
So it's about quality, framing, making the choices feel genuinely good, not just boxing people in. I can think of so many places where you, listening, might see this every day. Let's maybe dig into some examples beyond just simple menus, like streaming services. We all see the tiers, basic, standard, premium. But look closely. Isn't standard usually pushed as most popular or best value? That's nudging you, right?
Absolutely. Classic compromise effect.
Basic feels too limited. Premium maybe too much, so you land in the middle. That's not by accident.
No way.
Or think about recommendations online, e-commerce sites, social media. The algorithms are basically orchestrating what you even see. They limit your choices based on what they think keeps you clicking or buying.
Precisely.
You feel like you're choosing, but from a very, very curated list.
Exactly. And it goes way beyond just shopping. Think public policy, health stuff. Like some cafeterias put the healthy food right at eye level, easy to grab.
Yeah.
The cookies, maybe further back, lower down.
Simple but effective.
Yeah. You're still free to grab the cookie, but the architecture, the design, nudges you towards the salad. This is basically nudge theory, right? Richard Thaler and Cass Sunstein's idea. Small tweaks that guide behavior without forcing anything. The art is knowing the context, the biases, and designing the environment so the good choice is just easier.
Okay, so understanding this is like getting a new pair of glasses, isn't it?
It really is. When you see a decision point, those limited options, you can pause. You can ask, okay, who set this menu?
Right. What's the goal here?
What assumptions are built into these choices? What outcome are they hoping for? Just asking those questions gives you power back. You shift from just, choosing to actually analyzing the choice itself.
You become an observer of the system.
Yes, and you can make a more informed decision or even push back if the options don't actually work for you. It's about reclaiming that agency
Right.
by understanding how it works.
That's a huge shift. And it's not just about spotting it, is it? You could actually use this yourself, not just for big companies or governments, but like personally.
Absolutely. Think about your own goals, like eating healthier. Instead of just relying on willpower, which is tough, orchestrate your kitchen.
Yeah.
Control your options.
So fill the fridge with good stuff.
Exactly. Stock mostly healthy snacks. Make the good choice the easy choice because the junk food just isn't right there. You're guiding yourself.
I like that.
Or if you manage a team, instead of just telling them what to do, maybe present 2 or 3 solid strategies for a project. Let them choose the approach.
So they get buy-in.
Right. They feel ownership, more committed. Even though you curated the options to make sure they all lead somewhere good, it's about using this understanding intentionally for good outcomes in your own sphere.
Okay, so what does this all mean? Wrapping this up for you, our listener. The big takeaway from orchestrating choices is maybe simpler than it sounds, but really powerful. Real influence often isn't direct command. It's about designing the choices available. It comes back to that core thing. Control the options. Let people choose, but from options you provide. Hopefully this deep dive gives you that new lens we talked about to see the decisions you make and the ones presented to you differently.
And maybe the challenge to leave you with is this. How can you get better at noticing the orchestration that's happening all around you? At work, online, even in your personal life. It's not about being cynical, just clearer. And flipping that, where could you maybe thoughtfully, ethically orchestrate choices? For yourself or maybe for others you care about to nudge things in a better direction. It's about being intentional with design, whether you're receiving it or creating it.
That's a great point. So next time you're faced with options, what to watch, what to buy, how to vote, whatever, don't just pick one. Take that second. Ask yourself, who set this table? What choices, delicious or maybe not so delicious, have been laid out just for me? And what kind of meal am I really being guided towards? Pay attention to those menus. You might be surprised what you find when you look closely at the design.